served in the 1st Cav A Company, 1st to the 7th, which if any of you know who that is, that's Custer's outfit.
Well, growing up, I always wanted to be an officer in the United States Army. So the historical aspects to it, the fact that I've had family members that have served, those were all things that contributed to my decision to join the Army.
Ever since I've been little, ever since I was a kid, I saw my dad go to work. Every month he'd be in his uniform, he'd be geared up, and you know, I just wanted to be just like him.
I think about that, I think how proud I am of my kids that they will fight in this time of our country, because I think there's a lot of people out there that don't realize what we do have.
I think I was about 11 years old when my dad deployed, so I remember it very vividly. I had a full understanding of what was happening. I knew he was going to be leaving, I knew what he was doing. This may be tougher for a smaller child, but in the end, it just made our family stronger. He was able to come home, be able to understand what an absence is, especially for a good reason.
But it was a different feeling. People wanted to be there. They wanted to support their country.
You put the uniform on, you accept the responsibility that you're going to be the protectors. You're going to be there to guard the country and to do that either from home or overseas.
And I think that's one of the biggest things people don't realize. Because you go over there, you think you're invisible, you can't get killed. But you learn real quick that it can happen to any of us.
The fact that I have a father who was killed fighting for the United States of America just makes it all the more important that I'm willing to do the same thing. Willing to fight, and if it's necessary, put my life on the line for the United States.
I've got different feelings. Pride is one, all right, but I also worry. You know, if you've been around that and seen what happens, you always worry about your own family. You don't want them to die.
I know that there is a strong potential that I'll be deploying once or more times in my life, and I definitely plan on having a family, and I know that I'll have to leave them for that time period, but it's the kind of sacrifice that needs to be made. Someone has to make it, and I'm grateful that I'm lucky enough to be one of those few that can.
There was 17 of us that was put in the 1st A Company, 1st to 7th, and when I got to come home, there was only like 2 of us left.
When I deployed, I didn't realize how hard it would be for my mother, because for her, when she sent off her last Captain Greeff to go fight in a conflict, he didn't come home. So for our family, not coming home from combat was a reality, and I reflected later on the fact that I went over as a Captain Greeff, and so it's pretty significant for me being there and then coming home, because you know, Captain Greeff finally came home.